fights that just happened over the weekend?
Yeah, I guess so. And we could do whatever you want, man. This is your show. The
All right. Well,
people the people pay to see you.
the people pay to see us do speak the gospel of MMA.
I understand.
So let's just start off with the main event. What do you think of the main event? You had Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman in the rubber match, and Leon Edwards took the decision. What was it? A majority decision against
Yep.
Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, the scores, if I look at it off top of my head, I believe it's 48, 46, 48, 46, 47, 47. So the majority decision for Leon Edwards. My thoughts on the fight is I think the fight was actually pretty good. It was competitive. It was a close fight. There was definitely some swing rounds in there. I feel like for the people who thought Leon won, you know, 5-0, 50-45 without the point detection, I don't agree with those people. I don't agree with the people who thought Leon won 4 rounds to 1 either. I'm noticing that there's some MMA analysts and personalities kind of retracting their initial scores, and they're saying, "Oh, hey, after rewatching the fight, I realized it was actually a lot closer." Some people thought it could have been a draw. Um, I I predicted that Kamaru was going to win by decision, but of course, my prediction was wrong. But when watching the fight live, the way I scored it was 48-47 for Kamaru Usman, uh, or 3 rounds to 2, because I have to keep remembering the point deduction and in the third round. So I gave Kamaru Usman the second round, third round, and fourth round. That second round was pretty close, but I thought Kamaru landed. Uh, I thought he was more busy, and I thought he was just a bit more effective with his striking and his grappling in that round compared to Leon Edwards. Now I get it, Leon landed like a nicety up the middle, but I feel like that one strike compared to everything else that Kamaru Usman did in that round doesn't kind of equate Leon winning the round off that. Obviously, the third round was the round where Leon was like cheating a bit, and he got a point taken. And I felt like he just kind of lost his momentum a little bit in that third round. But that fourth round was pretty close. I think the fourth round was a real swing round. I think that I gave Kamaru that round, but of course, that round was kind of split amongst the people. Some people gave it to Leon, some people gave it to Kamaru Usman. I think the definitive clear rounds that Leon Edwards got was the first and the fifth. The fifth was more, in my opinion, the fifth was more clear for Leon. The first is could be a little debatable because not much happened in the first. But the reason why I gave it to Leon is because he was the busier fighter. He had more activity within his strikes. Leon Edwards' game plan in that fight was a smart game plan. I just don't necessarily think I was the biggest fan of it because if for real MMA fans, and Nigel, I know you're one of them, but way back then, years ago, probably a decade ago, maybe a little less, maybe a little longer, there was a fight for the light heavyweight title. Shogun versus Lyoto Machida. Machida was the champion at the time. The Dragonair. He was a puzzle that nobody could crack. He just got done beating up Thiago Silva and KOing Rashad. And he beat Tito Ortiz. And people are like, oh, this is his mythical dragon, And then Shogun, kind of gave him a competitive fight that first time. We're to the point where a lot of people thought Shogun won. But the reason why Machida won is kind of the same reason why Leon Edwards won. Machida utilized a lot of kicks, and most of the kicks were leg kicks. Most of Leon Edwards' strikes in the fight were leg kicks. Now, I get it. The name of the game is not slugfest and blood sport. But I just think that it was a very smart game plan for Leon Edwards and his team to concoct, and I think that it's what they needed to do if they were going to win a fight against Kamaru Usman. I wasn't the biggest fan on the leg kicking game plan, but at the same time, I know like he did what he had to do, and I'm not upset that Leon Edwards won because that fight was pretty close. I think what's next for Kamaru Usman if he's not decided to retire. I think if he wants a title shot again, like right away, then he needs to probably fight maybe like Bilal Muhammad if he's not booked for anything, Shavkat if he's not booked for anything. Uh, who's another top five guy that could probably get a fight? Give me a name of a top five guy. I mean, they could do the Kobe trilogy, but obviously Dana White already said Kobe's going to be fighting Leon.
I think that's the fight that makes the most sense, honestly.
What, the Kobe trilogy?
Yeah.
I don't know. So there's a few fights around there that Kamaru Usman could do. I didn't say Hamzat because I think Hamzat is going up to middleweight for his next fight.
What about Stephen Thompson?
Yeah, you could do that fight. If Usman wants to tune up, yeah, you could do that. I think that's a tune up fight for him. I just think that if he isn't going to be retired soon, he's probably on his way to retire.
Right.
You know, within the next couple of fights. What I think next for Leon is if Dana White, is able to actually make it happen, it will be Kobe, unfortunately. But if Leon has some say and he's going through negotiation, the battle with the UFC, and if Leon is able to get what he desires, he'll probably be the winner of Birds and Masvidal. I know he really wants the Masvidal fight, and I get it, 3-piece of the soda. But yeah, that's probably what he's looking forward to next. I talked enough. What do you think about the main event?
So what I think about the main event was the fight was really close. Initially watching the fight, I scored the fight. Honestly, I scored the fight every round for Kamaru Usman. So with the fight being, a competitive fight and it being scored the way it was, I felt that I should go back and watch it again. So the second time I watched the fight, I scored it 48-46 Kamaru Usman. But the fight was very close. It was a competitive fight, and Leon Edwards did have a good game plan in order to stop Kamaru Usman from getting too close to him to take him down. I thought the fight was more or less of him point fighting the first time around. The second time around, I watched he connected with like some cleaner shots, specifically in the first and fourth round. Those are the rounds that I gave to Leon Edwards more or less any. With the point deduction, he got a 46, not a 47. But I mean, the fight being 48-47, still very close because like you never know, like what with a fight like that, how other people are going to see it. So,
Right.
I mean, you got to give it off to Leon Edwards. Give your hat to Leon Edwards. Like he did his thing, went in there and performed. Kept Kamaru Usman away. Tried to set up the leg kick, the head kick, like a couple times, but didn't really connect. Kamaru Usman definitely was like prepared for that. But caught him clean with a couple of knees and, with some shots and, just throughout the fight. So as far as him fighting Colby Covington, I think that's not the fight to make. That just doesn't make much sense. He hasn't fought for what, 2 years?
No, over a year.
Over a year, like there's been other people who have been fighting multiple times within that time. I got to give Ariel Hawani some credit because like sometimes I'll not necessarily be the fan of his opinions, but this opinion I could agree with in that saying that Colby Covington taking time off and suddenly jumping line to the front just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. There's decent contenders for Leon Edwards to fight right now, multiple contenders that he can fight right now. And you have a champion in a different market in the UK, which you don't have many of those. So you can go and make somewhat of a star of if you put him in the right matchups or just around like with some of the, I would say, more fresh contenders in the division. And I just think that makes the most sense to do it that way.
Yeah. Well, you don't run the UFC, so of course People going to look at you, look at your opinion, my opinion as well, and just scoff at it. But listeners to viewers, this is what we think, and we believe that Kobe Covington doesn't deserve the next shot at the belt. But if he gets it, then hey, what could we fucking do, right? Except for watch the fight.
Of course,
But
I'm watching. I want to watch it still.
all right, so